something that came across the waiver wire, Mr. Lance Briggs, is the Chicago Bears put out, congrats to Olin Kruetz, Lance Briggs, and Peanut Tillman on being included in the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2025 nominees. So congrats to you, Lance. You know, I know you guys watched two of your former teammates and Julius Peppers and Devin Hester get into the Hall of Fame. And Devin obviously is somebody that, you know, for a lot of us, including me, like it was awesome to see him get it, and the emotion that he still has for this game and this team. I think it means a lot to all of us as Bears fans. But Lance, for you, you know, being nominated now, like, what's your mindset when you hear that? What does that mean to you, and how much do you think about that, and how much it would mean to you to get in?
Well, first of all, Julius and Alex were never teammates, but it was awesome seeing all those guys get in there. I'm excited for everybody that gets in, regardless of whether we play together or not. It doesn't matter, you know. For me, I just know that, you know, I know that I deserve to be in there. It's you know, the process for how it happens is what it is, and you know, when that day comes, it'll go. You know, I'm not losing any sleep over it. I'm not losing any sleep over it, man. You know what I mean? Like I know what my body of work is. You know, I know my body of work is, and I'm proud of it. You know, and so you know, a lot of young linebackers, you know, that I talk to, or even kind of older, a little older. You know, there's a lot of teach tape out there. You know, when they do teach tape, you know, for linebackers in my position, you know, my name comes up. You know, Derek Brooks comes up. You know, there are players, and then these guys that are coming up now, they're building their teach tape that's going to teach the younger. You know, so it's a cool cycle that happens that I know I'm a part of.
Alex, you know, when you talk about some of the other nominees, you know, and Charles Peanut Tillman, you know, for you, what was that like watching him come into the league and you know, kind of an unknown commodity? People didn't know really what to expect, and then to watch him turn into the player that he became here in Chicago. And to this day on the broadcast, his name still gets brought up every time a ball gets punched out, and he clearly made an impact on the game itself, and not just the Chicago Bears, that honestly will live forever.
Man, listen. So when we had that draft class, like the year before, we weren't very good. Okay, we weren't a very good football team, and we took on some injuries during that season, my rookie year, and having to travel down to Champaign didn't help. You know, while they were renovating Soldier Field, but we go into the draft and we need help. We need help. Like we got 4 wins, I think, and we need some help. And when they took Peanut, I've told Peanut this story too. They took Peanut, and I was like, why in the hell would you draft somebody out of Louisiana? No damn, like, but I ain't know that. I ain't know what it was. So I was like, Louisiana, no damn well. Like, damn. Like, who is this? Like, oh man, dog. I'm talking about. I was like, we need help. And he gets here and he runs funny. He's like all lanky and like he would run and he's just like, I was like, man, okay, all right. But the play, remember his rookie year. The play that he made on Randy Moss in the end zone where he snatched the ball from him.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes.
This is all right, you know? Like, and he just kept getting better and better. And Peter's more like he's a technician. I think he took more chances later in his career as far as at the ball. But if his job is to play outside of the receiver, he got outside leverage. He's gonna allow you. Okay, you got to catch it. I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna tackle him hard. What he like figured out from that, or what evolutionized from that, was him punching at the ball. Was him trying to get the ball out, because it's very hard when Brett Favre and Donald Driver is running a slant route and you got outside leverage to stop that if the linebacker doesn't get underneath that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just hard to do. So he had to figure out something. And here we go with the peanut punch and completely change the game. Like, it's just peanut.
But here's the thing, though. It didn't start overnight. Like, peanut, that's one of the things that he did in college. Like, he took the ball away. So it was one of those deals where we're getting a corner that does more than just cover. You know what I mean? He's a physical corner that in a different sense of the word. You know, he's a guy that actually can get the ball back for us. And I remember there was a year where once we started training camp until probably week 11, right? This is, I believe, you can ask anybody on this team. Peanut punched the ball out every day in practice. Like, every day there was a punch out, whether it was in one-on-ones, team, 7-on-7, inside drill, whatever it was. He was never an inside drill, but all the other stuff, yeah. Or in special team, Peanut punched the ball out once every practice until like week 11. And that is an insane stat. And you wonder why he was so good on the field, because he did it in practice.
He worked at it. He worked at it constantly. Shit, I remember getting pissed off at Peanut because he's trying to punch the ball out and he's giving up another 3 yards. I'm like, hell, tackle him. It should have been 2nd and 7. Now it's 2nd and 4 because you're trying to punch the ball out. Like,
there's some consequences, some slight consequences. But you know what? When if you got some dogs on your team, Absolutely. Listen, you can punch at it. We're gonna come take his head off.
Yep, come take his head off for sure. Like, it was like so. And Lance. I mean, Lance and I played on the weak side of the defense. For the most part,
strong side. Which side is the strong side?
Yes, which was the strong side. So. But we had a lot of things that we had to feel out for one another. So I had to know what he wanted to do. I had to have a real good idea of, if he's blitzing, I know how he is. Like, he might not be blitzing, but I can look inside like, oh, damn, he about to get, he going. He going. Like, so I need to make sure I keep contained here because he's going. This running back go across my face. If a running back's offset and we got that peel technique, I know Lance is going. Hey, B, man, I got it, man. Dang,
yeah.
Because he want to blitz. Because he know that tackle going to jump out and he going to have that B gap. Just hit that B gap and he trying to get the sack. Yeah.
Bro, I had somebody come up to me. We talked, it was a couple of days ago, and they were talking about, hey, man, he's like, he's just, got a young guy. He's running around and he's off target. He's missing guys and he's hitting other people. He's hitting his own teammates and he turned to me like as if I was going to give him a supportive answer. And I said, listen, it was like, if you ask Peanut Charles Tillman right now, he will tell you how many times I missed the target and hit him. And I can hear it. Like, I thought I was coming in. I was going to smack this guy. This guy ducks at the last second. I fly right over and hit Peanut and hear Peanut. Oh, God, you got me. You know what I mean? And you're apologizing.
Yes. So many times, man.
Well, Briggsy, that is something I've always wanted to ask you especially since you started here, and you brought it up, Alex, where he'd line up over you and he'd shoot that B gap. To me, watching your career, Lance, no smoke. Like, I don't think there was anybody better at shooting the gap and timing the snap. Like, you were in the backfield instantly on so many times when you blitz. Can you talk about your mindset and your technique on how you were able to do that and get through it?
I've got a great answer. Absolutely. I love to talk about that.
Nobody better than getting off the rock.
You're not guessing my guy.
All right. You're right. You know what? He's right. You know what? When you're right, Brad. Hey, I'm telling you the honest truth. I was on the football field with the high school this morning before we had practice before they drive up to Mission Viejo. And I was talking to, we just moved one of our linebackers to D tackle. He's just super aggressive. He's fast. He's got good size, and he's a guy that you have to account for. He's going to give offensive linemen fits. And I was telling him, I was like, listen, I said, I played with this kid, this guy named Tommy Harris, and he was just special, and when I played with him, offensive linemen would say all the time, they're like, I hate playing against this guy in particular because he's so fast and he's strong. His punch is fast. Like just dealing with him, he's already in the backfield and he's disrupting everything. So for a linebacker, a D lineman that plays fast, and you have 4 of them that are playing fast. A linebacker can play extremely fast. We get against a zone team with they rarely pull or don't pull at all. Now I'm cheating up and I'm shooting the gap right now. You know, if we have a pull team, yeah, then I'll be back a little bit, you know, and read out of my gap if I see a pull. But you can play fast when your D linemen are playing fast. One of us is going to come free. Yeah. One of us is going to come free. You have to believe that. And so if everybody attacks that gap with the same speed, force, and all that good stuff, somebody is going to come free. It might be you. It might be him. It might be the DN. Somebody's coming.
So what I'll say, Tommy, I think Tommy was, man, I never played with Warren Sapp, but I tell you what, I can't imagine a healthy Tommy Harris for 10 years isn't on that same level.
Yeah.
He was the strongest, quickest, fastest. Like fast and quick is different, but he was both. He ran a 4.6 in the 40. He was 295, 300 pounds. He ran 4.65 in the 40. It's insane. Like I saw him with these 2 eyes right here, bench, like not regular bench, like the incline 405. It's like what is happening? And he is getting off the rock quicker than I am. Like I'm like, what? This dude, I'm telling you, as far as just super uber talented, like man, he for a 3 technique, he's a perfect guy. Like they had all the skills for a 3 technique. If his body can just hold up, he would have been unbelievable. Like,
bro, when Trestman got hired on, we had an opportunity. That's when Aaron Donald was killing him at the Senior Bowl. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. All right, so I'm on the back end of my career. I'm moving a little slower than I used to. And I see Aaron Donald, and like the first thing that flashes, I'm like, Tommy Harris 2.0
all day.
And I said, listen, if we have to get this guy. We get this guy, I'm telling you right now, we'll be playing cover 2 for a long time because this guy's going to kill it. And any linebacker, whether it be me or as we transition, you're going to fly around and going to make a whole lot of plays.
Yep.
And we ended up, LA Rams or St. Louis at the time, I believe, they ended up taking him the pick before us, and we ended up in the corner.
Wow. So these 3 that we just talked about. So Tommy, I was here when he got here. I was here when Briggsy got here. I was here when Peanut got here. The other guy was already here, and that's Olin Kruetz. Olin Kruetz was already here when I got here, playing at a very high level.
Yeah.
And kept that, maintained that, maybe even a notch during my time here. And he was always at practice. He was always that guy that kind of led that attitude of running the football, the toughness that you have to have, the focus that you have to have, and all the same. And this type of stuff you didn't really see as far as a player. You didn't see it with him, but there was a number of occasions where Olin and I had conversations about football that helped me, right? So he just bring y'all to the side. Well, most people look at him and they're like, he's just a mean MFer, But he really was. He was mean, but he was super, he would educate you. He would help you with your game and talk to you about why I was able to beat you on that play because I saw this or I saw that, right? So I think all 3 should be in the Hall of Fame. And I think it's just a testament to, it's what I tell people all the time. Like, why we were so good, this is why. I mean, we got 2 guys that's already in the Hall of Fame that was on that team. We got 3 that should be in the Hall of Fame, I'm saying, over the next 3 or 4 years. Yeah. That's 5 guys in the Hall of Fame on one football team. And that's not even counting Adewale Ogunleye. That's not counting Mike Brown, Tommy Harris, Chris Harris. Nathan Vasher, like man, all these Tank Johnson, like all these other players that Hunter Hillenmeyer that made all of this come together, you know, like it made it all come together, and people wonder why we were so good. That's why we had talent, we had very little ego. We had an ego as a team because we thought we were good.
Absolutely,
but individually,
everybody understood their role.
Correct.
You understand everybody has a role to play, and you understand your role, you know what I mean, you'll fit better. But if you got somebody that listen, man, I should be the guy shining. I should be the guy that's on the cover. You know what I mean? I should be this, you know? When you get to that kind of attitude, man, it's not gonna be this, it's gonna be this right here.
Yep. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right here. So I think this will give people an idea. And the people that are watching this that aren't Bear fans or didn't watch the Bears, let's say back in 2006. ESPN comes to the facility. ESPN, they're going to do their little poster, like back when you want to be on ESPN, the magazine, the cover, right? So this is how good we were. So Urlacher was that dude, right? Yeah. So Tommy Harris was supposed to do this magazine thing, right? He was supposed to do it. And Tommy couldn't do it. So Tommy was like, hey, Alex, do you want to do this? And ESPN was like, oh, yeah, heck yeah, Alex, can you do it? We had so many people, and this is ESPN, the magazine cover, which was the hottest thing back then. Like, you want to be on that cover. And they were so cool with me. If I'm really, like, pumping myself up, I was like the 5th or 6th guy. Some weeks I'm the 5th guy, some weeks I'm the 6th guy. Like, very few times was I the number 2 guy, you know? Like, very few. That's when I got NFC Defensive Player of the Week type of deal. I was a 2 guy, but everybody understood their role. Everybody could play at a very high level. There are a number of games where Nathan Vasher took over, Peanut took over. Without Vasher in this game, we don't win. Without Ogunleye, we don't win. Without Tommy Harris, we can't win that game. Without Briggsy and Urlacher, of course, and Briggs, of course. But Mike Brown, you don't win that game. Without Chris Harris, you know, win the game. It's just, we had so many guys who understood their role and that we could count on to do their job each and every time. That's what made us so good, man. That's why we were this right here, that NFC Championship deal right now.
Yeah, it's right there. It's perfect. Yeah,
that's what we're able to win.
Like you've done it before.
Yeah.
We all silly like the mayor.